From preps to pros and everything in between, it's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Leak Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Young.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, a Thursday edition of the show, getting you ready for high school football throughout the Southern Middle Tennessee region and beyond today, as we look beyond our immediate scope of high school football and reach into some other areas for some of the state's biggest games. We will get you ready for all of those in the show, and very happy to do so. Mo, welcome in. What's going on?
Just another day in paradise.
Paradise. Had a good morning this morning. Today has been a really good day. I had about $200 less on the mechanic bill for that tire issue that I had than expected. Saved almost $1,400 off of the estimate from Firestone. You heard me right.
Mo, not that he's naming any names.
$1,400.
Hey,
Don't kill off any potential sponsors just yet.
$1,400 is $1,400.
When they get my online review back, I don't think there's going to be any chance of that. They know who I am now, I can assure you. Anyway, on top of that,
do you have the vehicle back?
I have the vehicle back. I'm in it
there
today.
you go. There. Cut loose.
2 days and $469 later, I have my vehicle back and in my
Did
possession.
you check the lug nuts?
The lug nuts are great.
Okay, cool.
Everything is good. So David over at Beechcroft Automotive, friend of
So you had to
Southern Middle
get it
Tennessee Sports. Yeah.
from point A to point B.
Yeah, that cost me $135. So still saved $1,250, but still.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that one did cost me a little bit, but overall still a win, Mo. Still a win.
well, there you go.
It's been a good day today. Certainly been a good day. Got a lot to get to in the show. Obviously, we have high school football to preview. We will talk about our game of the week, which is Forest and Richland. Today, this first hour is just, we might as well just call this the Linville Hour because it's all about Richland today, and that's perfectly fine. We'll talk to Nick Patterson in the next segment as well. And we've got a lot of quick top stories to get to, but before we get to any of that, we need to give you yesterday's result and today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the Rundown.
Let's do it.
The Thursday Rundown is brought to you by Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management. Barry B. Coble with Crest Point Wealth Management offers personalized wealth management strategies for clients based on where you are in your financial journey. Go see Barry at Crest Point Wealth Management at 700 North Main Street in Columbia. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer member, FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Crest Point Wealth Management and Cambridge are not affiliated.
In Wednesday volleyball action, Zion Christian, I believe, concluded their season with a 3-0 loss to Franklin Christian. And that was the result, singular, that Chris was referring to there. Thursday bowling action, Columbia Central takes on Franklin County at 3:30 today at Tullahoma Bowling Lanes. Also at 3:30, Lawrence County's boys host Marshall County at Kingpin Lanes down in Lawrenceburg.
In volleyball action today at 7 o'clock at Camden, it's Loretto taking on Camden, and Harpeth travels to Summertown in the Class A sectionals, winners advancing to the state tournament.
In Class AA sectionals tonight at 7, White House travels to Lawrence County. In girls soccer action this evening, Culleoka travels to Huntland at 6 o'clock to play for the District 10A championship. Both will advance to region tournament play. In District 12 AAA, Summit will host the championship game between Nolensville and Independence at 7 o'clock.
That's going to do it for your Thursday rundown on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. top stories, big news out of Columbia State women's soccer. First time for everything, Mo.
There you go. Sophomore goalkeeper Alexis Four. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Fohr.
I don't know how else you would pronounce it. Four?
I don't know, but I don't know. At any rate, Alexis was named the National Junior College Athletic Association Division I Goalkeeper of the Week after putting up a clean sheet in the Lady Chargers 2-0 win last Thursday against visiting Southwest Tennessee. The Nolansville product stopped all 8 Lady Salukis shots on goal as C-State improved to 3-2 under first-year coach Keem Barclay and secured the number 2 seed heading into the TCCAA Region 7 tournament that starts up on October 26th. It is believed that Alexis is the first national player of the week from the Columbia State program in its 4-year history. So congratulations to the Lady Chargers and to Alexis Four.
I wanted to get into this yesterday, Mo. Mm-hmm. Because I guess my biggest question was when we talked about the Oklahoma student journalist, and this kind of gets into some other things. College journalism had a big high yesterday and a big low, apparently. Did you see the story out of Ole Miss? An Ole Miss student journalist made up quotes from a recruit.
Oh, was that a student?
That was a student.
I saw that tweet. I didn't realize he was a student. He writes for 24/7 Sports.
Right.
So, yeah. Yancey Miller? Yeah, I saw that. I retweeted that. That's, yeah, and he made up quotes, and then even when he backtracked on the quotes that he made up, he didn't do a very good job as he tossed folks, more than one, under the bus. Yeah, it was it's not been a good 48 hours or so for journalism between, I don't even know if you can call that journalism or not, but there were a couple of other pretty significant issues, one in sports, one out.
Yes, specifically in sports, with Adam Schefter having sent an entire article to a front office personnel of the Washington Redskins at the time in 2011, the football team now. So the thing about that is there have been times when I have had to deal with a very difficult subject that I didn't fully understand. Clearly, Adam Schefter, not really a lockout CBA expert, asking for someone to give him what needs to be tweaked, what's right, what's wrong, what needs to be added or taken out. It sounds really bad. And he probably could have gotten someone else with more knowledge to look at it than team personnel.
Or even if you chose to consult with team personnel, I think there's got to be another way to do it other than just sending them the article and asking them, hey, what's wrong, what's right, blah, blah, blah. Just because I think the whole thing calls into question credibility. You're letting X, take a look at articles. How far does this go? I mean, is this the first time? Is this the only time?
We don't know. That's the
how
thing.
many other articles have you gotten signed off on by sources?
And like I asked you, I don't know if we need to call Adam Schefter a journalist. Adam Schefter is a, quote, insider. That's what his title is, NFL insider. And to be an insider, as one of our friends of the show who also has his own show noted, you don't get to be an insider without kissing some boots along the way. That being said, here's what I'm going to say about Adam Schefter. I think that there are some jokes out there. They're kind of funny, whatever. But the story that he sent had nothing to do with players or the NFL outside of the CBA, right? So the lockout. What I believe is that it was out of his scope of expertise. He was asked to do a story on it, and he didn't necessarily know everything that he needed to know in order to do the story. I'm going to say that most of what Adam Schefter writes, he probably has a really good handle on, and most likely is not sending that out to anybody because he has a good handle on it.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying is that it probably is an isolated incident. It's not something that he's probably made a habit of doing because he doesn't need to do it when he knows the subject matter versus when he didn't. So I just think he made a poor decision of who he sent it to. I think he could have sent it to a number of people outside of the NFL who could have helped him understand the situation. Other journalists.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I've listened to you. I'm going to say two things. One, I feel pretty confident that ESPN has the resources in-house or has access to the resources for Adam Schefter to get a good understanding of anything he needs to get a good understanding of without relying on a member of a front office. Two, you mentioned that Adam Schefter is an insider and not a journalist. And as I told you in our text exchange, I'm not sure how many people outside the industry are nuanced enough in the industry to make that distinction. If you write, you're a journalist. And I think he has injured his credibility. And for people who are already loathsome of journalists and journalism, this doesn't help.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you.
So,
and like you said, like I said, he made a poor decision on who he sent it to.
mm-hmm.
He should have definitely asked somebody else. So I agree with you there completely. And I have found, at least on Twitter, it does appear that a lot of people have made some distinction of what Adam Schefter does versus most sports writers. Thank goodness. It appears that way, at least by the people I follow.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, probably not, but it is what it is.
I just think that there are a lot of people out there who are already carrying torches and pitchforks for the industry that get a boost.
They're just using
from
this. Yeah, this is just ammo in the.
Mm-hmm.
It's another
fuel
arrow.
to the fire.
It's an arrow in
the quiver.
In the quiver from Oslo. All right, here we go. We need to run down some games tonight in national action. National League Division Series Game 5 at 8 o'clock tonight on TBS. Dodgers and Giants. Winners take on the Braves starting Saturday. The Preds the Preds and Kraken play tonight at 7 at Bridgestone. Philadelphia Eagles are at the Tampa Bay Bucks at 7:20 on Fox. Navy and Memphis play on ESPN at 6:30, and Georgia Southern is at South Alabama at 6:30 on ESPNU. Our In to Win Live Team of the Week presented by Custom Stone Handlers. Mo?
They've been on a roll. They've outscored their last three opponents 124-6. It's the Richland Raiders coming off a 35-6 win over Collinwood last week.
And the MTBJ Player of the Week, also from Richland.
Sophomore quarterback Bryce Miller, 10 of 12 for 161 yards and 4 touchdowns in said 35-6 win last week.
We'll talk to Bryce's coach and the coach of the Team of the Week in the next segment. Nick Patterson joins us on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Stick around right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Local sports talk you'll only find here. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant with you here on this Thursday edition of the show. Glad to have you with us as we get you ready for high school football on Friday night. I'm not sure. There's some games tonight. I'm not sure. Not many, though. Not any big ones like we have had the last couple of weeks. So there's that. This has been the Richland Raider Hour, and it continues to be the Richland Raider Hour because we're going to be on Coach's Corner, presented by our friends at From the Heart Cafe, Renee Hart, and From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill, cooking up some of the finest food that side of the Duck River. They're not on this side. They're on that side. And, man, she does a fantastic job. Not just the burgers and the sandwiches and the rest of the food, but the desserts are divine. And today, Mo, is National Dessert Day. Yeah. So go get you a dessert over at From the Heart Cafe.
Would be a great day to slip over that way, but I'm headed the opposite direction when we get off the air. So,
yeah, you got to go see the volleyball Eagles. So,
yeah,
it's going to be a lot of fun down there tonight as well.
hoping I'll have time to Make a quick stop.
Make a stop on the way. I bet you are looking forward to that. But on Coach's Corner today, we have Richland head coach Nick Patterson. Coach, welcome in. Thanks for joining us.
And I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, I'm not sure what the biggest surprise is, that you guys actually threw the ball 13 times last week, or that you completed 10 of them. Who slipped in and started calling plays for y'all last week?
Well, we just, we feel like we can do either. And that was kind of just the game plan we had. We wanted to open it back up a little bit. Bryce Miller's done a heck of a job for us, and I think he's done really, really good in his decision making. Hadn't thrown an interception, knock on wood, since week one, and so we trust him with the ball in his hands, making those decisions.
Air raid, huh?
Well, we can incorporate a little bit in what we do now. We're not ever going to change our real philosophy, but.
Well, I imagine the kids enjoy it a little bit more when those opportunities do come. And like you said, you've got some guys that can make plays in the passing game between Bryce Miller throwing it and guys like Ethan Workman and Tyrell Randolph and some of those other guys on the other end. But obviously y'all's bread is going to be buttered running the ball, and you've had some success with that, particularly here over the last 3 weeks, outscoring folks 124-6 in wins over FACS Mount Pleasant and this past weekend against Collinwood. I would think you got to like the way y'all are playing right now.
Well, we do. We're certainly playing with a lot of confidence, which is great for our kids. Something that's a little bit new for us. In terms of having that confidence and that belief that, we can go out and not only compete but be successful every game, and that we're kind of expected to. Like I said, it's a little bit of a new feeling for them, but I think they're starting to enjoy it and like it a little bit and understand, what it takes to make that happen each week. So that's big for our program.
Nick, you were speaking to your team after the Mount Pleasant game that y'all won fairly handily, and you mentioned some of those facets, the fact that building some confidence, this is kind of what you guys have been building towards since you got there, but it doesn't stop here, that kind of thing. How do you feel like your guys are responding to the challenge of continuing to take steps forward week after week?
Well, like I said, and that night, and like I tell them, ball games are won Monday through Thursday, which is a pretty big coaching cliche, but it's very true. And I feel like that we've responded, this group probably as good as any group I've had in a long time, and understanding that and coming out wanting to work hard. Last week was, fall break for us, and a lot of people go out of town and do things, but we were 100% here and focused and locked in, and that speaks a lot for, kind of where we are as a program or where we've gotten to, and that they can come in and sacrifice their time on an off week or on a, off a school week to get themselves ready and prepared. I think, we're maturing a little bit as a football team.
Speaking with Nick Patterson here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. Coach, this region is a grind, and you are currently 1-2, but both those losses, 5 points to Summertown, a touchdown against Cascade. This is just a tough region in and out. And of course, you have a game against Forest, who has kind of solidified themselves atop the region to this point. You have to feel like, if there was a good time to get this game at home against Forest, now is the time, because again, you guys have played really well over the last few weeks, and their defense has really been the key.
Yeah, I mean, and it is, like I said, confidence of kids on the high school level is a huge thing, playing with that momentum and just that belief that you can, I think is a big part of the game. And so, yeah, it certainly helps us. And something we've talked a ton about since it happened. And, we really feel like we're about a minute and a half away from this being a region championship type ball game. And, we can't do anything about those two. We let them slip away, unfortunately, on the scoreboard. But what we can do is control our present and our future, and and handle business now. And then we've kind of taken that approach, and the kids have really bought in and pushing towards that. And, I think we're excited about the opportunity to go up against a well-coached team. And Coach Stevenson and Coach Stacy, those guys do a great job. And, we want to see kind of where we are.
Who and what has been the difference in this defense that you guys have put together over the last, 7 games? 6 games. You've given up 10, 14, 7, 0, 0, and 6.
My defense coordinator, Coach Kerry Henderson, he does an outstanding job. He's an older coach, very experienced coach, long time in Alabama, and then he's been up here several years, but just a really good job, as well as all the other coaches on staff. They work hard on that side of the ball to make sure we're where we need to be. Player-wise, Jay Bird Douthit, my middle linebacker, he's kind of led us. He gets us lined up, gets us where we need to be. Got a lot of seniors, juniors and seniors on the defense that are taking a lot of pride in trying to keep that goose egg on the board. Ben Teagarden is safety. Sam plays defense for me. Sam Edwards. Those two are my safeties and kind of handling things on that end, on the back end of it. Like I said, Braden Adams and Jay Bird at linebacker spot. Another senior, Tyler Seals, and my outside backer's done a really good job for us. He's made a lot of plays. He made a pick 6 against FACS, I think it was, and it was really nice and doing a good job on the run stop. And our D-line, they've done a good job. We really talked about, getting hands on people and being disruptive, and they've bought into that. And we got kind of a mix on the D-line, and we roll some guys in there, but every one of them is focused and doing what they're supposed to do for us. So, it'd be hard for me just to name one. It's kind of a community thing, but, we're really buying into the turnovers and the takeaways and trying to make sure we're winning that category each week, and just negative plays and winning that and winning third downs. And it's paid off so far.
You talk about turnovers, Nick, and getting points out of places that you don't typically get points. I would imagine has got to be a big deal for y'all. Going back to that Mount Pleasant game, Tyler Seals had a pick 6 for you, also scored off of a punt return, and those are plays that I imagine energize you.
It does. I think it does both. I think it energizes, your team, and I think it can demoralize the other team a little bit, or, flip that momentum switch for them. And that was certainly the case that night. I think we shocked them a little bit early and never let our foot off the gas. And that was kind of the result of that. But winning special teams has been big for us since we got here. We preach hard, work hard on special teams and trying to win that battle. It don't always happen, but, we think that's a overlooked part of the game sometimes. So we really stress special teams here and trying to set up good returns and trying to make sure we get down there and pin them deep to get our defense good starting position and that sort of thing. So, and we're pretty fortunate this year. And, a lot of people struggle as far as kickers go, but we feel like we got 2 really outstanding kickers that we kind of roll in and out, and another guy that does our punt for, well, it's Ethan Workman, does our punt for us too. So we feel pretty solid in our special teams. Yeah.
I know you're a little bit removed from that game, but that's the last time I saw you. Go back to that punt return for just a second, and I cannot remember the young man's name that had it for you, but
Trevor Meadows.
I feel like he must have seen that Memphis game from a few weeks ago where a ball was touched but not downed, and kind of took advantage of a lapse on the Mount Pleasant punt return team, punt cover team there. What were your thoughts as that was developing there? Had that been something that y'all had talked about or anything like that?
Well, I don't know that he was just trying to make a play. I think he was a little bit as shocked as anything. And us coaches, of course, familiar with the game we were talking about, we started screaming, go, go, go. And he took off, and he said that's the fastest he's ever built up his speed to get across the goal line. And, it was a heck of a play for us. And like you said, it was a big energy spark. I think it was I don't know, I don't want to say nail in the coffin necessarily, but it certainly, I think it put us up 3 scores on them and really kind of set the tone for the night a little bit.
Certainly probably had some momentum and like, are you kidding me factor? So yeah, well done there. I'm looking forward to this game this week and for the rest of the season. You got a couple of region games left, and you guys can certainly play yourselves into the playoffs. You just have to take care of business on the field, and doing so will be exactly what you set out to do earlier this season. But boy, this region has been tough, has it not?
It has, and we knew it coming in. Of course, we left from a pretty good region too, in 1A and in 5-1A, and those guys all do a great job as well. But we knew this one was going to be, super competitive. There's not really necessarily what I would call just a front runner necessarily. Chapel Hill's kind of put themselves in that position as we've played games. But I think, on any given night, anything can happen in this region, especially, and you just gotta be ready to play and show up. That's, I tell my kids all the time, there's nobody that we should just boat race, and there's nobody that can boat race us. I mean, you got to show up and you got to play the game, and you got to be prepared for a 4-quarter battle. Sometimes like it happened at Mount Pleasant, we were able to kind of put it away a little bit there early, but that's not going to be the case, and we don't feel like it's going to be the case tomorrow night either. I mean, we think it's going to be like a heavyweight fight. They like to run the football, and we like to run the football, and so we're gonna see what happens.
Good, because I'll be there, and I want it to be over as quickly as possible so I can get on the radio with JP and tell folks about it.
Wanted to ask you, Nick. As Forrest comes in, ranked number 9 in the state in 2A, 5-2 with a couple of close losses. What is your biggest concern about them?
Well, they do a good job. They got several backs that all can run and do a great job. I think they're a really athletic bunch. I think they get off of tackles on the defensive side of the ball. Get off of blocks, really good. So a lot of athletic guys pretty much everywhere on the defensive side. I think they swarm and do a good job with that. And like I said, offensively, they spread it out a little bit in their wing T attack and can hit you with the fullback or the halfbacks and to really do some things there. I think they do a really good job with the wing T offense. I've known a lot of those coaches for many, many years, and they've always done a good job with them. And they've got to be playing with a lot of confidence, I'm sure. They got a chance to probably, finish as the 1 seed, I guess, tomorrow night. So I think they got a lot to play for as well. And we're playing to solidify a spot and maybe move up in the standings. So, there's a lot riding on it.
No doubt. Coach Nick Patterson of the Richland Raiders here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe. Again, they're playing at home. They host Forest Friday night, 7 o'clock. Make sure to get out there. Coach, we appreciate your time. Thanks again for stopping in, and looking forward to tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
All right. That is our Fast Stop game of the week, and we'll get into it a little bit more along with that Region 5 Class 2A playoff scenarios. A lot to talk about in the next segment, so stick around on Southern Middle Tennessee Sports today as we get back to high school football right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Talking high school sports, here's Mo and Chris.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant with you here on Thursday, getting you ready for high school football Friday night. Got the fast stop game of the week coming at you. We just talked to Richland head coach Nick Patterson, talking about that solid defense that they've had after Ben Franklin in week 1. They've been pretty good on the defensive side of the football. So if they've corrected some of those mistakes, I think the Raiders will have at least a puncher's chance.
I think you also have to realize, though, that Cornersville's pretty good.
Yes.
So
that being said, in week 2, Cornersville beat Forest 16-6. So they only scored 16 points against Forest in week 2 versus 31 in week 1 against Richland. So you feel like Richland still probably needs to shore up some things, or still needed to shore up some things after week 1. That being said, I think they have. I mean, again, they've given up a grand total of, 10, 21, and then 6? Is that? Yeah. 31, less than 40 points since that 31-7 loss in week 1 defensively. That's pretty solid.
yeah, they've done a really good job. I guess
Cornersville is very good.
I didn't want to ding them too much over giving up 31 to Cornersville was kind of the point I was trying to make. I mean, obviously, from a point standpoint, that was their high for the year. And as you said, 22-43. They've given up 49 points in 6 games since then. So that's, 8 points a game on average? That's not bad.
That's not bad
at all. With, again, 6 total points in their last 3 games. And
scoring, too.
yeah, and it's going to take that type performance, I think, tomorrow night against a Forest team that is used to playing big games.
Ideally, if you're Nick Patterson, you would like to have some big special teams plays, some turnovers from your defense and that sort of thing to help your offense out.
I think you're going to need the big special teams plays because I'm not sure Forest is going to turn it over.
That's one of the things. I mean, they do such a great job.
They're just really a fundamentally sound team. I think Eli Stevenson has quietly done a really good job over there, keeping that program at a level that, that a Brian Coleman took it to, that a Matt Kreisky kept it at, that a Brent Johns kept it at. They kind of had a stretch there where they kind of went through some coaches, but he has kind of solidified things at the top and maintained things on the field. And, that Cornersville loss in week 2, and then they went down to Marion County and lost 42-15, 3 weeks ago, I guess. But this team has played some really good football, and as you said, Chris, they've solidified themselves as pretty much the number 1 seed, barring Richland knocking them off their perch tomorrow night, because they finish at home against East Robertson and then at home against Mount Pleasant, do the Rockets.
Yeah, they've only got to win one of those 2, and they're the 1 seed. So even if Richland beats them, it doesn't matter. They can still win.
Well, they can prolong
they can.
Things.
They certainly could. And here's the thing is, if Forest were to lose on Friday night to Richland, Mount Pleasant now they've got to beat Summertown, but with a win over Summertown, and that then puts them into a position to play for a potential spot in the playoffs, if not the 3 seed. Mm-hmm. So Region 5 2A still, Loretto's pretty much out of it. at this point. I mean, that's just
Who
they
is
are
it?
playing. They're playing spoiler, and they've got Cascade and Richland left.
Well,
And I
there's,
certainly
there's
think-
certainly room for them to do exactly that. Because they can create some problems if they were to win either or both those games, I would think.
If they win both of those games, then well, they could still make the playoffs. I mean, in the event that Summertown were to beat Mount Pleasant, and then Forest beats Mount Pleasant, and Loretto was to win those two, they would actually be
The 4.
the 4 seed. Man,
So that's
everybody's still eligible for the playoffs at this point, despite being 0-3.
And that's what we've been saying about this region all year.
I mean, Loretto needs a little help, but the help that they need isn't out of the question. I mean, the two people they have to get past both
They
play
play.
Forest.
Oh, okay. Well, so there you go.
And one of them they play. Yeah. So, I mean, it is, as we've been saying all year long, it is up for grabs. I mean, Cascade could certainly lose to Loretto and Summertown, which, could take them out of a home playoff game. And then you've got Summertown, who's got Mount Pleasant and Cascade left. They could play themselves into the 2 seed after missing the playoffs last year. And not looking great to start the season, to be honest. And, you're now in the home stretch of this thing with nothing determined. Even Forest being the number 1 seed isn't determined, because they could definitely lose to Richland. I mean, Mount Pleasant's got athletes all over the field. Who knows? I mean, Forest wants to shorten that game, but Mount Pleasant can score in 10 seconds in one play. They've got a home run ball. So you have to be on your A game every week in this region. And Forest, Richland, I mean, Richland could certainly play themselves. They win the next 2 ball games, they're probably looking at at least the 3 seed. So, man, could you imagine?
And here's the thing. I think when you look, as you like to do, at that cross region,
I do like to look at the cross region.
3 is probably, well, this will sound stupid, and I apologize in advance, but you'd rather be in the 3 spot than in the 4 spot. But particularly in that region, I think, because
Well, I mean,
Lewis County is probably going to be the 1.
Lewis County and Decatur County play in week 11 to see who the number 1 seed is, most likely.
Yeah. So
I mean, if there's any way to get to the 2 spot in Region 5,
that's
where you got to
Well,
be.
for a couple of reasons, because 1, you're hosting. 2, you don't have to be worried with Lewis County or Riverside right out of the box, especially with Riverside being ranked number 6 and Lewis County, as I recall, just off of the top 10. So,
And Forest is one of those teams, like I said, they love to run the football. I mean,
very physical on both sides of the ball. I mean, they want to pound you offensively. And, Nick talked about coaching cliches, but Forrest kind of personifies one of them. They want to run the ball and they want to stop the run.
if you can force them to pass it, you have a chance. Because, I mean, Hunter Bennett is not a guy who's going to beat you with his arm. Now, he can beat you with his legs. Great running quarterback. Does a fantastic job. But if you can force them to be in a situation where they need to throw the ball, I mean, against Marion County, now granted, Marion County, really, really good. Was 1 of 8 for 32 yards and an interception. I mean, there's no question that there's a formula to defeating Forest, and that is keep the ball. And when you have it, end in the end zone.
You sound like the formula for beating Summit. Just stop number 1.
Just
right?
all
If
you
you
got to
could
do is
just stop that guy.
Just stop Destin Wade. You'll be all right. Never.
Yeah. The formula is there to beat Forest.
Now,
knowing is half the battle.
Knowing is only half the battle. That's right. And this is a very good football team. I mean, they racked up 268 yards against Summertown. So that just shows you how good of a football team they are, and held Summertown to a total of 100 yards overall. That's when you go, this defense is really good. How do we combat that? Well, the thing that Richland does is they have balance. They have the ability on the outside to keep you honest, and then they hit you with Sam Edwards, who's a really good running threat. It's all going to depend on whether or not, Richland can keep Forest defense honest and make them throw the ball at some point.
And when Richland does throw the ball, they've got to be able to take advantage of the opportunities they have in the passing game, I think, which there will be there. Because the way they run the ball, ideally you catch Forrest creeping, and then you get Ethan Workman over the top.
And that is going to be Friday night. That is exactly what Richland has to do. They've got to find a way, like you said, complete those passes when they get the opportunity. Just
big plays have to be big plays.
Well, there's that, and then you're going to have to need at least one of those special teams plays to go your way with, and if nothing else, just give yourself good field position with kick returns, and don't shank punts, and which they did quite a bit in week 1. Now, granted, it was a mud hole over in Cornersville, but I don't think we'll have to worry about that this week.
Not so fast, my friend. It's supposed to do a little something tomorrow evening, I think.
And don't tell me that, because I really don't want to deal with.
I don't either.
And yet you're right. Yeah, tomorrow at noon is supposed to be some rain.
Why would I lie to you? Yeah.
Well,
and I don't know if it's supposed to clear out by kickoff or if it's going to continue into.
I don't know.
The night.
I don't even want to think about it.
Well, forewarned is forearmed, though.
There is that.
So,
but yeah. So either way, they've got to do the little things right. You have to be almost perfect to beat Forest. This is a team that's 3-0 in the region, 5-2 overall. Getting to 2-2 in the region gives you a much, much bigger leg up than trying to play your way in
from 1-3.
From 1-3.
Yep.
So should be fun. We've got a lot of high school football to continue talking about, because in the next hour we're going to get to that Cascade Loretto game, which is obviously big in 5-2A, as well as Mount Pleasant and Summertown. Columbia Academy is hosting Nashville Christian. We'll reach over into the borough for the Battle of the Borough, Riverdale, Oakland. And then later in the hour, we'll get to Columbia Central's game. They host Lincoln County. Then you've got Spring Hill going to Franklin County. Huntland is at Eagleville. And then, of course, Giles County going to Sequatchie. That's a big one for that region.
I tell you what, getting from Pulaski to Dunlap ain't going to be no picnic.
Good luck.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we'll give you our picks. All of that coming your way. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Again, high school football, post to wire. Come back with us for hour number 2 in the Lee Company studio. This is Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Day, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Local sports talk you'll only find here. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton, JP Plant with you here, getting you ready for high school football on Friday night. On this Thursday edition of the show on WKOM 101.7 FM, WZYXradio.net, and across the world, of course, on YouTube, Facebook, etc. Mo got a chance to go down to Henryville this morning. Me and JP drove down there to do a little story for Main Street Murray, and it was a lot of fun.
I have to tell you, I do not know where Henryville is.
There's your first problem.
I'm pronouncing it wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know how to get to Henryville.
No, you don't know how to get to Henryville because there is no, it doesn't exist.
Henryville?
Henryville.
You know, just like everybody else.
Henryville.
Henryville.
The Y
is silent.
no, it's an and then Vul is VUL. Obviously, just like
There's
everybody
no
else.
Henryville.
Vul.
Okay, I can do
Henryville.
it. Okay, but I don't know where that place is either.
Either one, you couldn't get there from here.
It's on the turnpike.
Okay.
Just turn between Quick Mart and Sonic and keep going till you get there.
Oh.
Well, you do have a couple of turns, but
It's basically just keep going till you
So
get
is it in Lewis County then? Because
no,
there. It's close.
It's in Lawrence County.
okay, well,
It has a Lawrenceburg address. But it's in the middle of nowhere.
well, if you'll recall, when we were on our wild goose chase looking for Dixie Oaks, we turned between the Sonic and the Quick Mart and went out that way.
So,
and we,
funny story, where we went right to Lewis County. You go left there at the fork, okay? And then
First fork.
And then you kind of just, and then you see a sign that says Dixie Oaks to the left.
Oh,
If
wow.
we'd have just gone left,
Yes.
we'd have saw the
So,
sign.
so we'd have kind of backdoored it then, basically. Oh, wow. Wow.
Oh, nonetheless,
We were that close.
We were, yeah. We just took when we got to the fork in the road, we didn't take it.
There you go.
That's what happened.
What kind of living is that?
I mean, geez, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. Got to hang out with the proprietor and master distiller, and he sent us away with some juice.
Some lovely parting gifts, huh?
Yeah, it was good. It was
Also proprietary.
proprietary juice. It was. It's a proprietary mix of cranberry, blackberry, and lime juice, and it is fantastic.
Really?
Oh, yes,
Pairs well with one of their 4 spirits.
correct.
Lime juice.
It's designed for
Just
one of
just a hint. It's kind of like those Doritos where they had the hint of lime.
Yeah.
Kind of like
It's
that.
just like if you take a wedge or two and squeeze it in there.
Yeah. It was good. It was
Just
good.
just a scooch.
But yeah, so we had
Scotch.
we had a lot of fun doing that today, and glad we did get a chance to do that because Main Street Murray, if you've not picked up the paper, it should be out and around town. MainStreetMurray.com. Check it out. Great story on the big backyard on the front page. Other than that, some great hard news, of course, some puzzles and comics, an entire section of puzzles and comics, and of course, the sports section where you will find all of last week's game stories, photos. You'll find what Mostradamus had to say. And if you haven't picked it up, you can hear what Mostradamus has to say later in this show. But if you have, you already know.
If I'm not mistaken, that comic in that little section is expanded.
Yes,
Right?
it's an entire
Recently
insert.
expanded?
Yeah,
It's a section.
A section, a full-on section.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's a tabloid size section, so it's really cool. So pick it up. You can get some around town. I know Ace Hardware's got some, and hopefully we're going to have some out here at 315 West 7th Street in Columbia soon.
So that's what those racks on the
That's
porch
what the
are
rack's for. Yes, we just haven't filled them yet. I don't think that they knew that the rack was here to be filled.
Okay.
So
Well,
we
good.
need to.
We know a guy,
That's right. We do know a guy.
thankfully.
But all right, let's get into some high school football because these are some games that you will see in next week's Main Street Murray. We'll start in Region 5-2A or continue in Region 5-2A since we just got out of that with the Fast Stop game of the week. Cascade at Loretto, and we were just talking about anybody can win any week, and Loretto with the athletes they have a chance no matter what, Mo.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think, I hesitate to say this, but the offense that Cascade plays, I don't think they're going to blow anybody out.
Which lends yourself to potentially
Competitive-
being upset.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of that old Jeff Fisher Tennessee Titans thing. They weren't going to get too far away from anybody, which means that folks can catch you late without having to do anything different. And Loretto doesn't really want to throw the ball. And if they've got a healthy Caden Porter and a productive Case Tucker, they don't necessarily have to throw the ball. So this can be a game that could be close late.
I expect it will be. Last week, Loretto went down to Moore County, got a big win, and our friend Will Rabb was on the call on that one. But Cascade, 7-1. 7-1 Cascade. Didn't see that. But they're led by quarterback Ryan Inman.
Yeah, spoke to Jake Tyre after their game down at Mount Pleasant a few weeks ago, that game that they won 16-14 on a safety, and he feels like this is the best team he's had since he's been over there. They're very physical. They're very focused on what they do, which is run the ball, run that wing tee, and Inman is the center of that. And he's probably one of their more physical players, even at quarterback. So...
And no doubt. And speaking of Mount Pleasant, they are down at Summertown tomorrow night as they take on the Eagles. Mount Pleasant in dire need of a region win because it's getting close to a situation where they're not going to make the playoffs if they don't win this week. It doesn't feel like.
Yeah, and this is a little bit of a returning to the scene of the crime type deal for Mount Pleasant, in that their loss last year to Summertown in the season opener really kind of touched off this spiral that they're currently in. Finished up 1-8 last year, dismissed their coach, brought in a new coach, still struggling to some degree. A win here would do them a world of good on a number of fronts. But as banged up as they are,
That's the thing. Injuries are killing them right now.
right. I mean, Xavier Davidson is out for the year with a knee. Jeffrey Williamson, who pretty well anchored their defensive secondary and perhaps their entire defense, has been in concussion protocol since the Central game, did not play against Richland. So they're hoping to get him back. But I'll tell you what, defensively, and that's where Kit Hartsfield hangs his hat anyway, is on defense. Those two linebackers, Uriah Archibald and Matthew Holden, have been playing out of their minds.
And those two, along with Gavin Alderson, who had that big game against Scotts Hill and then followed it up, and the next week with another big game against Cascade, where he almost single-handedly helped them to that win. Mm-hmm. They're really good on that defensive front, and their front seven is really good. That's where it's kind of strength on strength. You've got Javen Edmondson and Colton Schaefer, who likes to run the ball, even at 6'4". Against that front seven, they've got to contain those guys.
The offense that Summertown runs is pretty much predicated on the quarterback running the ball. And Schaefer, even at 6'4", 210, you'd think he would be a slinger, but he likes to get physical with it. Scored 2 touchdowns in the second half against Loretto to kind of put that Pegasus Cup matchup away a couple of weeks ago. And, he'll look to do some of the same here.
Columbia Academy hosting Nashville Christian. Nashville Christian comes in 6-1. They're 2-0 in the district, and Columbia Academy 1-5 overall, 1-1 in the district. Got to find a way to stop Josh Strickland.
Yeah, and not many folks have. 967 yards and 9 touchdowns.
17 touchdowns.
17 touchdowns. My fault.
Yeah, that's.
I don't want to short him. in
half.
Yeah, in the Eagles' 6-1 start that finds them at the top of the Division IIA statewide rankings. So CA definitely got their work cut out for them. Coming off a win and an open week. Gotten some pretty good play at quarterback over the last couple of games from 2 different quarterbacks. First, Elisha Nieves, and more recently, Connor Rawson. So, don't know who we're going to see under center this week, but whoever it is going to be challenged because Nashville Christian's going to put some points up.
Zero question there. They're going to have a pretty good offense, so you're going to have to match them at least at some point with some scores. And it's all about. Here's the thing: is on the skill side, we've seen Columbia Academy be pretty good because in those passing camps they were competitive. So they've got some athletes here and there. It's it's just a matter of blocking for them and getting it done. That's completing those plays.
Yep.
Finally, we reach outside of our coverage area into the Battle of the Borough, where a pair of undefeated teams, number 1, Oakland, hosting number 4, Riverdale. Not on Thursday night.
No, unfortunately not. Of course, I couldn't get there anyway because I got real work to do tonight.
Darn.
Yeah. Hate when work gets in the way of a good time. But this is always an occasion in Murfreesboro. Riverdale and Oakland are the 2 oldest current high schools in Murfreesboro. Everything else kind of spun out of them. But these 2 teams, again, you just don't see them both be good at the same time very often. Traditionally, it's been either or. And I guess we'll find out tomorrow night whether they're both good this time. Oakland obviously has been pushed all year with their schedule. Riverdale hasn't played quite the schedule that Oakland has, but like you said, they're undefeated. And this will be for the top of that region, that region 4-6A, excuse me. So should be a lot of fun.
The longest win streak in this rivalry currently held by Oakland. They are on a 10-game win streak, including a couple of playoff wins. That surprises you, right?
So how many? It does surprise me. So a couple of playoff wins,
right?
So that's over 8 years in, basically.
That's correct. The last time Riverdale won was in 2012.
Good Lord, I never would have thought that.
Yeah. Well, they've only given up 27 points all season. Have the Warriors
27 all year?
All year.
I'm gonna go out on a limb.
I'm sure it's a real weak one too.
They're going to give that up tonight, tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think you're right. That being said, it won't be easy.
No, it won't be easy.
Riverdale's got a pretty good defense, so I'll be interested to see how close it is, because I want to know if Oakland is human or not.
I got to figure out how to DVR with.
Is it on Friday Night Rivals?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, how do you DVR on Hulu? I don't know.
Exactly.
Google that.
Yeah. Might have to reach out to our IT guy over here.
You can record in Hulu.
You can.
Oh, I'm sure you can. Here's the thing. I've recorded things in Hulu.
I don't know how to get to them.
I can't find them.
That's my problem.
That's a you problem.
That he can't help you with, apparently, because he doesn't know either. Oh,
this
man.
guy.
Yeah, when we come back, we're going to talk about some more high school football in the area, and we'll reach down into Giles County and talk about their trip to Dunlap. So, should be fun. Stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Covering the teams you care about. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Once again, live from the Lee Company studio. With the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back in Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Man, what a Thursday it has been. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it so much. We got some more high school football to preview, and then we got the picks coming your way in our final segment of the day. Getting ready to watch a little Major League Baseball tonight. Find out who the Bravos play on Saturday.
Trying to figure out who we're rooting for. I mean, we touched on this a little bit in yesterday's show, and I'm still not sure. I mean, if the Giants win, then the Braves open out there on Saturday. If the Dodgers win, Dodgers come to Atlanta, and Atlanta has the home field advantage for the series.
I think they ought to just fly to St. Louis and wait.
And then come back?
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I mean, well, at least until about midnight. Hopefully it'll go to about midnight, too.
That would be fantastic.
They'll use every pitcher you got, use every player you have.
Play 15, 16 innings.
It'd be just fine. Wouldn't hurt
would
my
not
feelings.
be mad.
And then, I personally want the Giants, and I told you that, just because I feel like we match up better against Kevin Gossman and Alex Wood than we do.
You'd like to think a rotation with a Kevin Gossman is going to play in your favor if you're the other
And
team.
yet.
But, yeah. We talked about this mid-year. Gossman's been decent everywhere but in Atlanta.
Except in Atlanta. Well,
we got our theories.
Rick
on that
Kranitz
one.
walks out to see Charlie Morton, and he gives up a homer on the next pitch. You tell me what the problem is, Mo. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oh man, but there's plenty of stuff to watch tonight on television. You got the Eagles and Bucks. You've got Navy, Memphis, as we mentioned in the opening. But of course, the Preds open their season tonight against the Seattle Kraken. Release the Kraken in Nashville. Going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Talking to Pete Weber yesterday was really fun.
It was very informative.
Talking to Pete Weber is always fun, but when you're talking hockey, terribly informative. Yeah. If you missed that, look it up on the podcast wherever. What's your phrase now?
Podcast distribution platform.
There we go. Well, your favorite one.
That's correct.
Go there and find it.
That's right. A little more high school football to get to. JP, hit it, DJ.
A little bit more than we
had
realized
a minute
coming
ago.
into the break because
That's right.
there were some clerical errors.
We apologize to our friends down in Lawrenceburg and our resident Lawrence County graduate.
Now see, nobody knew that it wasn't on the rundown.
No,
Well,
we did
yeah,
because
we
I
did
ran
because
down
he-
all the.
yeah.
I ran
okay.
down all the games and
Yeah, I
didn't
guess you
say
did.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
We had some clerical errors. Clerical error. My bad.
It's all good.
You know what they call this game? The City Cats versus the County Cats.
I did not
I
say
Which
say-
are
that.
which?
It's Tullahoma City.
Tullahoma City. It's a
And
city
then-
school. Lawrence County.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the County Cats.
Okay.
City Cats, County Cats.
Gotcha.
Or the City Cats, Country Cats, but County Cats.
Yeah.
I like it.
I say they call it.
Who is they?
Anybody that talks about this game.
Yeah.
Well, the City Cats come in ranked number 2 and looking pretty darn good doing it, considering they're in one of this is one of the toughest districts in all of Class 4A for sure.
Toughest and definitely largest.
Definitely the largest. But yeah, this is a big one for Lawrence County. Obviously you don't expect them to win, but boy, there are some teams who would love for them to play a little spoiler in this one.
Oh, I mean, they could upset some apple carts with a win here, and if they get it, you best believe Alex Carr will be right in the middle of it. I mean, he's pretty much the guy for the County Cats. 761 offensive yards, 10 touchdowns through Lawrence County's 4-3 start to this point. So, however he goes, they're going to go.
Since I brought this one, I'm just looking at the standings here in this region, and Greenbrier's in 4th, right? Marshall County in 5th. Lawrence County beat Greenbrier. They lost to Marshall. You figure Marshall's going to move. They're 3-2. Greenbrier's 3-2. But Greenbrier, here's who they have left.
It doesn't matter because
Pearl-Cohn, Tullahoma, Marshall County.
But that's the 5 seed. That's for number 5.
I get that. Well, it depends on. Let's see who Marshall County has left. If that matters.
Glencliff and Greenbrier.
Glencliff, Montgomery Central, and Greenbrier. Glencliff they'll beat. Montgomery Central could be a toss-up.
You would need Greenbrier to beat them, and then it would be a 3-way tie.
Yep.
And Lawrence County would need to.
They would lose that with Marshall, but
no. See, here's the thing.
They lost to Marshall.
Even if they lose to Tullahoma, they can beat Hillwood and Creekwood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And if Greenbrier beats Marshall County and Marshall County loses to Montgomery Central, you got a 3-way tie for 4th, and it gets really wild.
Then it does get in because the head-to-head kind of goes out the window.
Right. Yep. It all goes out the window. So it's all about number of wins, I believe. And Lawrence County would they would actually... No,
they could get to 6 wins if they lose to Tullahoma and win the last 2. That'll get to 6.
Yep,
Right.
And Marshall County would also have 6 though. Greenbrier would only have 5.
Mm-hmm. So Greenbrier falls out, and then it comes back to head-to-head.
And then I don't think you fall out. I think you have to
move
win a
ahead.
tiebreaker.
Okay, yeah.
So you go to the next tiebreaker because you'd still have a tie.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. I don't know. All I know is it possible?
It is. So you're saying there's a chance.
Sorry to hijack an
here's
extra
the
minute,
thing.
but
That's okay.
Here's the thing. Win the last 3.
It's the biggest region in the
Tullahoma.
state. So
Yeah.
Because if you beat Tullahoma, guess what? Then
That's going to give you the tiebreaker.
You have a win over the number 1 seed, and you get in.
That's probably going to trump anything else. Yeah.
Hey,
so
go beat Tullahoma, and it won't matter.
that's all right.
There you go.
They've done it before.
I'm sure they have.
I would love to know the last time that they beat Tullahoma.
Well, hang on.
It hadn't been as long as you think.
I'm about to go find out because I want to know the answer to this question. I want to know the last time the County Cats got a win in this one. And we're going to find out here in 30 seconds because I already had that
Did you?
pulled, the website pulled up. It was 2016.
See, it wasn't as long as I told
A
you.
56-24 win over Tullahoma.
Yeah, see, Tullahoma.
Oh, well, that's when Tullahoma went like back-to-back 0-10s.
Mm-hmm. They had a couple of bad years.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm saying is just beat them. That's how you get. That's how you don't have to worry about tiebreakers.
They have gone from 0-10 to nearly 10-0. So will definitely be a challenge for the County Cats or the Country Cats or
any of the Cats.
the Purple and Gold Cats or whatever you want to call them.
That's right. And other purple and gold teams playing on Friday night. Columbia Central, they don't ever wear any gold. They're supposed to have some, though.
They should.
It really angers me that they went to the black and silver, but it is what it is. Lincoln County comes to Columbia Central, and this ought to be a bloodbath. I mean, just based on what we've seen throughout the year, Columbia Central should win this game handily. Now, whether they will or not, I don't know, but they should.
You know, we've talked about teams playing down to the level of their competition. And I don't know if Columbia Central is one of those or not.
Maybe against Dixon County, but otherwise not so much. I mean, they beat Franklin County 33-9. They beat Nolensville 31-7. They beat Mount Pleasant 35-14. I don't think you can say that they've played down to anybody. Now, last year, the Columbia Central was bound to lose to anybody because of that situation. I mean,
I wasn't at the game last week, so I can't really speak to it. It just feels like to me that's a game they should have won.
I think Giles County is really good. And where they are good up front is where you have to be good to win games like that. I mean, honestly, I don't think Lincoln County I don't think they can block or tackle at all anywhere near the level that they need to beat Columbia Central. Because they're not going to catch Q Martin or Jordan Davis.
No, they're not.
And if Caden McCoy's back.
And I think he is. Yeah, those guys, if they're even, they're leaving.
And they're going to be even a lot.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, just from an athletic standpoint, you feel like this is a game that Central should win handily is a good word. You used it. Yeah, so, all right.
Moving on to Eagleville hosting against...
You skipping one?
Am I? Oh, I apologize. Spring Hill, Franklin County. You're right. Yeah. This is a game that you feel like you should win if you're Franklin County.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you've beaten Lincoln County. Lincoln County's beaten Spring Hill. I mean, comparing scores can be a little dangerous, but I don't think it is in this particular case. Again, we're going to get into our picks in the next segment, but if you're Franklin County, this is a game that you feel like you can and should win, like you said. That's
Eagleville, pretty good football team. They really, really like to throw the ball more than they probably should. Or sometimes maybe they're just forced to throw the ball more than they should. But did not have a great week or a great game against Collinwood a couple weeks ago. So I don't even know what. I'm out of it. Anyway, Eagleville and Huntland playing next. That's where I was trying to go to.
Yeah. Eagleville idle last week. They defeated Wayne County on the road the week before that to get to 3-3 overall. And to 2-1 in region play. Eagleville coming down from 2A with the opening of Rockvale right down the road, literally. Kind of cut into their enrollment, dropped them down, and, it may have been a good thing for Eagleville. Except now you're in with Cornersville, Moore County, and that bunch. So, but the way Huntland has struggled this year, and I did not expect them to struggle the way they have, but
I just wonder how much of, that first couple of weeks, really affected them.
Mm-hmm. The fact that they didn't get on the field?
Yeah, I feel like that had to have something to do with it. I mean, they didn't get on the field until September.
Yeah, their first game was Labor Day weekend.
I mean, and then you close the season with Eagleville, Fayetteville, and Moore County, and you feel like you really need to win at least, one or two of those just to feel good about your season.
Well, if you're going to win one or two of those, it's going to either be tomorrow night or in the finale because, like you said, they got Fayetteville next week.
Right, yeah.
And all they are is a defending 1A state champ.
and ranked number 2 in the state, so, which...
And they're only ranked number 2 because of Peabody.
Yeah, anyway.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, it would be incumbent upon the Hornets to win this one on the road tomorrow night.
And as I mentioned earlier, Giles County's really good. I think this is a team that this is a team that has every opportunity to win this region. I think this is the region championship game. Although there are 3 teams in this region who have not lost because there's only 5 teams in the region.
Right.
Giles, Sequatchie, and Cannon are sitting undefeated. Now, Cannon County is 1-0. They've beaten Grundy. Sequatchie's 2-0. They've beaten Community and Grundy, and all they have left is Giles County. I don't know how that's possible. No, that's not possible.
It's not possible.
They got to play somebody else in the region.
Community.
They already beat Community.
They beat Community?
That doesn't make sense.
I wonder if there was a COVID game somewhere in there that didn't get played.
Normally they put, like, Giles County beat Grundy County by COVID. So I don't know how that's weird.
Yeah. Well,
That's not possible. They're either 2-1 or they're 3-0. One of the two.
It's a consider the source kind of thing. But regardless, like you said, Giles County should handle their
Who knows? They just started this last year. So.
It's a garbage in, garbage out kind of thing. I mean, if you don't have the information, then you don't have the information. I'm going back to a Facebook post of mine last night.
Yeah.
But Giles County should handle their business.
I agree. Should be a game that Giles County wins. So looking forward to it, though, because it will at least put some separation in that region.
The Bobcats ranked number 4 in 3A this week.
That's right. When we come back, we're going to pick these games, so stick around. Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today returns right after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
Fast Stop Markets is a full-service, family-owned convenience store chain located in 14 locations throughout Middle and West Tennessee. For those in our listening area, you can find them in Columbia, Centerville, Lawrenceburg, Spring Hill, Dixon, and White Bluff.
Fast Stop partners with wholesale fuel brands like Shell, Marathon, and Exxon, delivering a consistent customer experience that is fast, friendly, and clean. If it's not already, it will soon become your go-to store to shop in town or on the road. Fast Stop Markets is proud to be keeping you moving in Tennessee.
Keep your home as comfortable as possible. If you have any issues with your air conditioner, electrical, or plumbing systems, call Lee Company. Our techs use visual findings and other technology tools to add transparency and clarity. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on the roof. We're here 24/7, so if you need us, call us. Lee Company. Call 931-548-4448 today or schedule your appointment at leecompany.com. That's leecompany.com.
Hey folks, while we take a quick break from the show, I want to tell you about our friends over at Custom Stone Handlers in downtown Columbia. Ned Rich and his team at Custom Stone Handlers believe in leadership. And outside of the military, our greatest leader building platform is sports. Custom Stone Handlers proudly encourages young people to get in the game. You can contact them today at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Maury County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic injuries, and our Ortho Quick walk-in service lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Local sports talk you'll only find here. It's Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Live from the Lee Company studio with the Hall of Famer Mo Patton, here's Chris Yao.
Welcome back into Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Glad to have you guys with us here as we get ready for the final segment of this Thursday show. Get out of here. Go watch some hockey or some football or some baseball, whatever you want. You got options. Options. Mo, I will be down in Richland tomorrow night. I can't decide if I want to go to 31 South or if I want to go to the Junction.
No. Your first thought was your best thought.
Well, I've been to 31 South 3 times since the last time I went to the Junction, though. Of course.
Did you have the chocolate fried pie on any of those 3 visits?
Now, what did we have last time? I had something last time. It wasn't the chocolate fried pie, but it was...
I don't remember what you had.
You had pecan pie the last time.
I think they were out of fried pies.
They were out of fried pies the last
went.
time you and I went. That's
Yeah.
right. And I don't remember. What I had. Some kind of dessert, and it was it was the New Orleans
The bread pudding.
Yeah, it was delicious.
Yeah.
I got that the last 2 times. Matter of fact,
Yeah.
good stuff.
You need to go back and hope they have the chocolate fried pie.
Well, that may be what we do. Today is National Dessert Day. What's your favorite dessert? Your favorite, absolute favorite, if you had to pick one.
Oh, goodness gracious.
It's been a great Top 5 Tuesday topic.
We've done that before, have we not?
Not desserts,
not
I don't
desserts.
believe.
We
Let's just hang on to that.
That may be what we do.
Yeah.
We'll save desserts for Tuesday.
Yeah.
Even though it's not National Dessert Day. I did get I replied to a tweet earlier of a friend who asked, would it be okay, since today is National Dessert Day, not to eat an actual meal before going face first into a cake? To which I replied, life's short, eat dessert first.
There you go.
Or only. And Edwards Desserts said, hey, DM us. We're going to send you something in the mail. I don't know where I can get an Edwards dessert, but
Kroger's?
I have no idea. I legitimately have no idea where you can find Edwards desserts.
In the frozen food section.
Yeah.
So I never look in the
local
frozen.
grocer.
I never look in the frozen food section for like pies and stuff like that. I mean, I know they're there, but I've never looked and been like, what do I need a dessert for? Well, I don't. So anyway,
Pecan pie.
no,
Oh, that's right.
no good. No, thank you.
Jeez, this guy. Goodness.
Sorry.
Let's get on to the picks.
Let's get to
because
the pick'ems.
You're going to discuss me.
Last week, a 6-2 week, I believe, 5-2.
5-2.
5-2 for the two of us. 57-17 overall, still tied. Let's get to it. We'll start at the bottom. I guess we're going to pick these 2 games that we talked about. It's Giles County at Sequatchie County. Mo, any thoughts?
None. Giles County.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Giles County ought to win this one. And moving up to Huntland-Eagleville, I do think that Huntland-Eagleville is, Huntland is really, really in search of a win. I don't think they're going to get it this week. I picked them to beat Wayne County last week with you, and we
were both wrong.
We were wrong. So I'm not rolling with the Hornets this week.
Afraid not. They stung us last week. Taking Eagleville.
J.R. Smith did not appreciate that reference.
Sorry,
you
JR.
should behave. Sorry.
He's still trying to catch up from yesterday.
Still trying to catch up.
And by the way, you stole that one from me.
I
Yes.
did.
Uh-huh.
I did, in fact, steal that last one there. Oh, man. Spring Hill and Franklin County in Winchester.
taking the Rebels in this one. Spring Hill has really struggled offensively. And, those twins and the quarterback, the Johnson kid for Franklin County, I just think there's too much explosiveness over there for Spring Hill to keep up.
I 100% agree. I don't think Spring Hill has I don't think they have as much offensive firepower as Franklin County does.
Mm-hmm.
I think they have some. The problem is up front, they're just not very good.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got the Rebels in this one as well. Lincoln County at Columbia Central. As I said earlier, Mo, I think Columbia Central ought to win this one going away.
Absolutely. They should. They should absolutely win this one going away. And I hope they do.
Because you're picking them to win.
Yeah, I'm picking them to win. I'm picking them to win, but I hope they win this game from minute 1 to minute 48.
Yep.
Because that's what they should do.
I know exactly what you mean. You're 100%. Lincoln County closes the season with Columbia Central and then Page. That's tough. Wow. Franklin County, meanwhile, closes with Spring Hill and Nolensville, and that Nolensville game will most likely be
for a playoff spot.
No. For 3 and 4. They're both going to be in the playoffs. It'll be for 3 and 4.
Okay. Good for them.
Yeah. So that's interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
Tullahoma at Lawrence County. I mean, you got to go with number 2, right?
Give me the City Cats, yeah.
Give you the City Cats. Boo. Yeah, I would love to see Lawrence County win that game. And I promise you, if you had seen them play Marshall County, even though the way the game went, the final score, if you'd watched that game, you would have a lot of respect for the way Lawrence County played based off of what we saw in that first passing camp where they looked like they couldn't play dead in a cowboy movie.
Mm-hmm.
They looked really good. And this team is just starting to turn the corner, but Tullahoma is just so good. They're just too good. Here's the one, Riverdale and Oakland. And to me, I think this is an Oakland win. I think pretty much everybody picked Oakland to win in the Main Street Preps pick 'em.
Well, everybody except
Emily Spears.
Literally everybody.
There's one in every crowd.
It's always Emily.
Mm-hmm. Hey, she knows who she is.
She's consistent.
The contrarian.
Yeah.
So I've got the Patriots for sure.
Oh, no doubt.
Nashville Christian at Columbia Academy. Boy, would it be a big win if Columbia Academy could knock off the number 1 team in the state. But they're not going to.
It would be huge. And that'd be a great win for them, given the struggles that they've had over the last 2 years. I don't see it.
No matter who their starting quarterback is, whether it's Rawson, Nieves, Baranek, it needs to be Rawson or Nieves in order to help Baranek be, helpful in other areas.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
I'll be curious to see if one is playing poorly, if there's a 2 quarterback situation. I don't know. After last week and Rawson getting win number 1,
You would think they'd roll him back out there.
you would think.
Yeah. But regardless, like you said, I think Nashville Christian,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mount Pleasant at Summertown. This is a very intriguing matchup because if both teams were fully healthy, I think it's a toss-up, just like it was last year with the difference being, not getting the 2-point conversion and not having their kicker available.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Mount Pleasant's not healthy completely, and Summertown's going to win the game because of it.
Summertown's going to win the game. I don't know if it's because Mount Pleasant isn't healthy or not, but Summertown's going to win the game.
I just think it's probably a toss-up otherwise, but I could be wrong.
I think Mount Pleasant needs a win for as Nick Patterson was talking earlier in the show, from a confidence standpoint, Mount Pleasant needs something good to happen for them. And, I mean, it's not going to be tomorrow night, but that's a team that needs something good.
Yeah, no question. Moving down south a little bit further from Summertown to Loretto, the picturesque view of the water tower next to the football field. Cascade, the champions, travel. It's Mustangs versus champions. Whose horse you got?
Just be
Whose
careful.
horse is this?
Be careful where you step.
Yeah, I can't get that.
I've got Cascade close in this one. I just think that what they do they do a little bit better and more consistently.
They certainly do it more consistently. They win close consistently.
It's going to be a short ball game, though, as you were talking about with the next one, just from the standpoint that there may not be 10 passes in this ball game total.
Well, I'm going with Loretto.
All right.
I think it's going to throw because this region is what it is. There's
it would be
going to
fitting.
be a wrench in the whole thing, and this is going to be
And the Mustangs are going to throw it, huh?
They're going to throw it right in. So
I got to give you guys a hand because that's the first game you picked something different this week.
well, at this point in the season, we kind of you kind of know where you're going.
And I can see it.
Yeah, I
It's
think,
not out of the realm of possibility at all. It's not like I'd be shocked if Loretto wins this ball
right.
game.
Not at all.
So.
Forest in Richland, I will be at this one, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I don't think that, and Nick, pull it up if you want. Put it on the bulletin board.
He will.
Put it on the bulletin board because I got the Rockets in this one.
Well, I won't let you hang out there by yourself because I've got the Rockets too. So he can cut us both a check.
If necessary.
Yeah. But yeah, I am. Again, I feel like it's going to be close.
I do too. I think this one, just because of the style of play, is going to be tight.
But I think at some point, Forrest's been there, done that
Yep.
type thing is going to come through.
It's going to be a defensive struggle. I'm going to be excited watching it for sure. That's going to do it for our picks. Stick around for Southern Middle Tennessee Sports Today. Tomorrow from 4 to 6, we'll get you ready for pro and college football. And then at 6 o'clock, you can hear our statewide preview where we preview the top 12 games from across the state of Tennessee, East, Middle, and West, along with JP and others.
And if you're listening on WZYX,
Stick around for
Sports Mix Live,
Sports Mix Live. That's right. So we appreciate you guys hanging out. Again, 6 o'clock tomorrow is TriStar Friday Night Live pregame show, and then JP, Murphy Fair, George Plaster throughout the evening, and then the scoreboard show with JP and Murphy and the cast of thousands. Not really. It's more like a dozen, but it's okay.
12,000
Ish.
Who's counting?
Ish. You know, it is what it is. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us. For Mo Patton and JP Plant, I'm Chris Yao saying have a great day and stay cool, Columbia.